Hey YouTube, this is James from Team Collection, and I'm coming at you guys with an updated Madolche deck profile. As you guys know, Lord of Tachyon Galaxy just came out, hence the new mat that I got at the sneak peek. Also at the sneak peek, I was able to pick up my 2 Hoot Cakes for my Madolche deck. Obviously, that's why I'm updating it, because it now has Hoot Cake. Just know, though, I do have 2 proxies in here, because I haven't got them yet, because for some reason it's kind of a hard card to find, but I will be getting them this summer. So, yeah, on with the deck profile. I guess some stuff has changed, some hasn't, but anyways, yeah. You still play the Triple Maggie. Some people actually bumped her down to 2, I've noticed. I don't really see... I understand she's your normal summon and everything, but she just sets up your plays for next turn. This deck has always been a combo piece deck. Even Hoot Cake now really relies on a combo piece, and it relies on your graveyard. The graveyard is your combo piece for Hoot Cake. So, I mean, you summon Maggie, search out Hoot Cake. Every once in a while, your Madolches will hit the grave from various, like, exceed materials, being sent, not destroyed, being tributed for a random lava golem if you're playing burn. But, I still think running Triple Maggie is really good, especially because she pumps up to 19. So, yeah, I still run Triple Maggie. Still run Triple Mufai. It's kind of self-explanatory, so I'm not really going to get into it. So, yeah. Now, more than ever, if you weren't running Triple Gelato before, now you really should be. Because Triple Gelato, you know, you special summon it with the Mufai, you special summon it with Hoot Cake, special summon it off a ticket. It just gets its effect so much now, more than ever. And he searches for your ticket, your Chateau, your Palooza, Knights if you're running it, although it's a bad card. And he grabs your combo pieces, so you have to run it at 3. It's pretty self-explanatory in my opinion. One change though is I bumped Cruff down to 2. If you've been watching my videos, you know, I love this card, it's just too good. Some people have even bumped Cruff down to 1 because they used to run it at 2, and you summon him, okay, you already have a ticket on board, or a Chateau, you bounce back the Chateau, for example, reactivate the Chateau, shuffle monsters, if you have any in your grave. He's up to 23 now. That's just really good for a level 4. Level 4, 2300, doesn't really do anything if it attacks, because I know there are some level 4s where they have a beefy attack, but like they're switched to their fans after they battle or something. No, he just stays at 23, and if your opponent isn't able to get over him, pump him up again. Now he's at 26, and so on and so on and so on. In fact, Cruff has won me so many games because they don't want to Mirror Force one monster, so all I do is I just Cruff Effect Bounce Chateau, Cruff Effect Bounce Chateau, Cruff Effect Bounce Chateau. In fact, I think that's how I won one of my matches at Regionals a while back, but yeah, so Cruff at 2, because I still find him useful, and he can use his effect to trigger ticket, if you don't have some other way to get it off. Now the moment you've all been waiting for, I run 1, 2 Hoot Cake. Some people run 3. I've tried 3, I didn't really care for it, because it seemed inconsistent. I'd have it in hand when I didn't want it. Believe it or not, I don't summon Hoot Cake half the time unless I'm gonna go for like some big play, obviously, because that's what Hoot Cake does. He pushes for big plays. But what I mean when I say that is that you can summon Maggie, search Hoot Cake. You won't always have the fodder for Hoot Cake, so he's dead sometimes. But boy, do I tell you, when he's live, he goes off like it's going out of style. So definitely have to run him. 1 I found to be too little. 3 I found to be too much. So what do you do in that scenario with Yu-Gi-Oh? You put 2, and it's been working muy bien. So yeah, 2 Hoot Cake. And to finish up the Madolches, a lot of people don't run this anymore, but I still think it has its uses per se. Is 1 Butler-esque. I understand that we have Mufi, Ticket, and Hootcake to special summon our Gelato and possibly trigger their effects off of. But you don't always get those off, and Butler Rusk is just... He's good, in my opinion. I've always liked running one. As you guys can see, because I was finishing up the Madolches, I took out the Marmalade and the Princess. The Princess is probably a little bit more self-explanatory because, you know, now with Hoot Cake we want fodder in the graveyard. So, she maximum would be 1500. Marmalade was honestly a toss-up between keeping in the Butler Rusk or keeping in the Marmalade. Butler Rusk is either going to search for your field spell and only your field spell, or Marmalade is going to recycle them if they get destroyed. So I kind of just decided to go with the Searcher because I like more deck thinning, and I've been running it and it's done really good. Alright, now for the non-Madolches. 2 Trags. This card is good for a plethora of reasons. First off, you take battle damage, special summon it, attack or defense, stops OTKs. Secondly, his attack and defense is almost always really beefy because with Chateau, our monsters just don't go away. They're always in our hands, so that's just really good. Not to mention we have searching power, so that's even more power for him. And thirdly is his effect, where I can pitch a monster in my hand to steal yours with that same level. So that's good. And then the second thing is, if you use that effect to begin with, you can copy the monster's level in your graveyard, exceed summon, and then either waste your opponent's resources because they don't want to deal with an exceed, or just beat them down or something. So Trek just really good. He stops OTKs and he makes OTKs essentially. So yeah, he's just really good. So you gotta run him. Unfortunately, he's at 2, so that sucks. Now here's my one proxy. I run 2 card Ds. Now some of you are wondering, what the fuck? Why card D? Here's the reasoning. This deck already has a lot of back row. So if you open up card D in back row, okay? Set the back row, summon card effect, tribute, draw 2. Now here's the beautiful thing about running Trag in card. If you have a Trag and a card on hand, that's just activate the card. Trag is going to get beefier if and when you summon it, and that's a +2 for you. The reason why I'm running it is because it serves 2 purposes. Obviously, it's +2, so that's always good. And secondly, it's again a +2 for when I use it for Hoot Cake. Because if you think about it, I'm banishing 1 monster, I'm special summoning a Gelato, I'm getting Gelato's effect, and searching for something else. So it's just pretty damn good. So yeah, I gotta run... Well, you don't have to. That's just more of a tech choice, personally, but I really like it. It's won me games, believe it or not. On to spells. Triple Chateau. Gotta run it. No explanation really needed. Some people bumped it down to 2. I don't see why. It's another target for Tiramisu. So, yeah. 2 ticket. Really good. I mean, it also is one of those cards that doesn't require much of an explanation. Duality. Another one of those cards that doesn't really require an explanation. It adds consistency. Especially if you open that in a card. Ooh, that's awesome. 2 MST. Get rid of back row. Only reason I don't run a third one. Never really been a fan of 3. And it's cloggy. You don't want to top deck and be in a top decking war with your opponent and draw an MST. I mean, come on. 1 ofs, Reborn, and Dark Hole. Same reason why I don't run Heavy Storm. I have a Chateau, I have a Ticket. I don't want to risk... I don't want to lose them and then risk not getting them back somehow, because the Chateau and Ticket are what really make you win the game. Just pretty much stun your opponent out. Onto traps. 2 bottomless. This card's just really good. Against Macro Rabbit, against pretty much any... Well, Rabbit's so splashable now, it's a thing too. But yeah, against other things, we don't really like big beefy monsters. 2 Depriz just gets rid of problems, unless your problems are E-Dragons, then it makes a bigger problem. But yeah, Deep Prison is still good. Probably my favorite trap in this entire deck, Phoenix Chain, just because it negates an effect and it stops the attack, so that's kind of a win-win, because Veiler doesn't do that. Offering, I mean, I still play Triple Maggie. That's another thing too, if you run Double Maggie, the loop's kind of like but I guess you don't really need it no more, but it kind of dulls down the loop. So yeah, Ultimate Offerings, muy bien. 1 Starlight and 1 Dark Bribe for my negations. I don't know if anybody has actually net decked any of my old builds with the 2 Dark Bribes for my regionals. 1 works. I don't know if any of you guys have actually tried it, but 1 does work, and I just had to take it out because I wanted to keep this deck at a 40 card count. So, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, it works. I mean, you can run this deck at 41 if you want, because sometimes the 2nd Dark Bribe does come in handy if you're in a chain link battle with your opponent. Trust me, that happens all the fucking time. Next up, we have Palooza and Mirror Force. Palooza, because I like to do it during battle phase. It's just too pro. You're poking with monsters, and you Palooza, and then they're like, oh, that's cool. And then Mirror Force. Actually, no, you know why? Palooza, because they're not... If you have like a Mewfi on board with like 1,000 attack, you know, provided Chateau's on board, and you attack, they're not gonna like... Or you attempt to enter your battle phase, they're not gonna threaten any more of that, because it's just 1,000. Unless it's like, they're gonna lose off that 1,000. So, you enter the battle phase, and you just go, Palooza! And then, it's just too good. Mirror Force, also just really broken. I've thought of running it at 2, but once again, it's just one of those things where I'm kind of used to just running it at 1. And, yeah, it's just good still. So, extra deck didn't really change. I also have a proxy in my extra deck, just because I wasn't able to get it yet. I haven't gone to locals in a while. So Zen Main's Wall, Invoker, combo, Tempo for etc. Olivier, stuff gets banished, especially now stuff gets banished. Leviathan Dragon beater, Acid Golem beater, Cowboy beater / burn. This is supposed to be a Lava Law Chain, and Lava Law Chain is in here just because it's insta hoot cake combos for you. My Stroke Wall, him to get rid of those annoying ass stall decks. Also to get rid of those annoying stall decks or push for more damage. Not even gonna answer it. Utopia, Kazish Utopia, and Stardust Dragon for the Starlight Road. So, yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video. Comment, like, and subscribe. Before I go though, I'd like to honestly, I'm starting to get more views on my channels, and I'd like to thank all of you guys for that. Honestly, I think I'm probably going to have my first contest ever coming up soon, because I'm going to job this summer. Yeah, if you're watching this, subscribe. I'm probably going to have a contest coming up. Then that'll probably give you a chance to win it, or something like that. And lastly, I'd like to give thanks for this deck actually itself to my teammate David. He actually had this build before me because I was all against, no, I'm not going to test it out on DN. But I started testing it out in real life, and it's working substantially better than I anticipated. So yeah, as usual, you guys comment, like, and subscribe. And we're gonna be getting this summer specifically. We're gonna be getting more newer decks in. In fact, you guys are gonna pee yourself when you guys see my max rarity Lightsworn deck that I'm gonna be getting. I believe everything's gonna be hollow. Because that's what I do when I get a job. I spend my money on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So yeah, you guys have a few things to look forward to. Lightsworn, actually Plantsworn build, because Plantsworn's really broken. In case you guys didn't see that video, I went first on Quasar. And then, I'm not flipping you off, my bad, you guys. And then secondly, David is building his Constelliers, which I loathe that deck. It's really sacky. But yeah, deuces.